your turn yet. You just gotta wait a minute. Now, I know you guys are anxious and you really love to perform here on this Coyote Medicine Show, especially on a free day Friday, don't you know? But, gee whiz, you gotta go slow, man, because Grandpa's gotta, tune on in too, get everybody vibed up again, like the music ain't doing it already. The tune-offs make your heart large here on the Coyote Medicine Show, don't you know? Ooh, moment to moment, man. One multi-dimensional experience after another. If you tuned in properly, man, you're getting it. And speaking about tuning in, babies, our main server's down, it looks like, this morning, so you can get us on this other one. I put the little links up there on my Facebook pages, etc. So get on over. You can get in there and just be sure you hit the little player button up there. I don't know if it'll work on your smartphone, but it works on computers, so that'll get you tuned in. I'm glad you're tuned in. And listen, if you got connections with others that normally tune in, you might send them a little PM or give them a phone call if you're close enough to do that, etc. And let them know how to tune in this morning so they don't miss Free Day Friday. I mean, gee whiz. That's like, making love and quitting before it happens. You know what I mean? It's stopping just before you got there. You can't do that. It's Free Day Friday. It's orgasmic, man. I mean, not spasmic. I said orgasmic, man. There is a difference, Though orgasmic can be spasmic for some folks, can it now? Oh, my goodness. The jet age has caught up to me, man. I'm back in it again. I'm striking matches on a matchbook and having to toke down with a match. Isn't that awful? I have no lighters this morning. But as long as you got the fire, you can fulfill the desire. No matter what it is you want to put that flame to, man. Now, if it's the illusions in your life, well, I'd say get right down to it. Mary J will help you along the way. She always does, man. Listen to me, man. She's your buddy. Your bosom buddy. She's your mother. I mean, she's the cool mother you always wanted to have. Well, guess what? You always did have, but you just didn't know it because this other one got in the way, right? Kind of messed up your image of a cool mama. Well, some of you had cool mamas, and I'm glad you did. Some of you are cool mamas, and I'm glad you are. Ooh, here's to that, too, man. Oh, cool mamas everywhere. Some bitch. You guys are what makes humanity fun. I'm telling you, I know you're a mixed up, confused mess, and an emotional wreck, and gee whiz, you still don't, but Hillary, oh shit. I am woman, hear me roar, baby. Yes, right down to the core of my very heart, you betcha, man. Grandma, you rock. Grandpa just can't. The only reason I'm rocking because you are too. You give me the jump start, baby, and I'll give you a jump too, okay? Here we go. Jump start along the way with Grandpa Coyote and friends, wouldn't you say? With our official Coyote Club mugs now. Get them up there. Clink, 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 clink all the way around. Oh, we love you so, man. And we loves our coffee here at the Coyote Medicine Show. Just pure, simple, naturally sweet coffee. Wake you up in the morning, man. As long as they ain't over-caffeinated, then it gets you buzzing. You can't do shit. You're too uptight all the time. Nervous and edgy. Get out there in traffic. You're a hazard to everybody, including yourself. So, man, you got to get the good coffee. You can't be drinking that crap that comes in a can no more, man. I know it's cheap, but it don't taste like nothing but dirty dishwater. And, you could do better with dirty dishwater. It's probably healthier for you, too. So if you want real coffee, you get shade-grown, organic. Organic is of supreme importance. If it ain't organic, it ain't coffee, okay? That's the way it is. And shade-grown is preferable, and fair-traded, absolutely. So if it ain't organic and fair-traded, it ain't coffee, and you don't drink it. Now, I'm thinking about, doing a little test run here for the holidays coming up. And I'm going to do a little holiday gift basket, a Coyote Club holiday gift basket for you and your friends, hopefully I can keep it around $40 or so. I don't know. Prices these days are so high on everything. But anywho, I'll keep it as dang reasonable as I can. I'm going to put some organic coffee in there. The right kind. So you guys will know, you'll at least have a taste and a sample of what it's like to drink real coffee. then you'll be converted, man, because Grandpa, comes to coffee, I got good taste. I'm a connoisseur, one of those dudes that goes around and, rates coffee at coffee shops and shit, I give them a 7.7 or a 6.3 or a 2.1 or something like that, depends on where it is and who it is and how they do it. Yeah, having been in the coffee shop business before, I'm considered a qualified expert, 3 different times I've helped open up new shops. The third time was me and my partners, so that's kind of fun. Got to have my own coffee shop for a while, and of course it became legendary in this reality. You go back to Guthrie, Oklahoma, they're still talking about campfire coffee and bemoaning its absence from their presence, man. They've tried to replicate it and duplicate it, and, more power to them. I hope they can, because the energy's there. But so far, they ain't done it yet, And, as much as I love you guys, I ain't about to move back to the flatlands and try it again. I've done it. And I got to have my mountains around me. I feel secure, and if, we have the big earthquakes they're talking about and stuff, and these mountains shake and big old rocks come busting down. Well, guess what? It'll be a quick one, and I don't care. You know what I mean? You go with the flow, baby. At least I died smiling. How about you? Huh? You gonna die smiling? You gonna die flying? Or are you not gonna die at all? You're gonna transform this shit. Enough of this living and dying and going around in big circles all the time. Because life goes on forever. The living and dying's a frickin' illusion, man. Drive you crazy. I'm sure glad Christmas is coming up. I'm going to give myself something really good for Christmas this year. A healthy life for starters. I've got to tell you, I'm going in for surgery next month, early part of next month. And so I'll be off the air for a little while, but guys, I'll still be on there. And the only way I really know how, and that's through the radiant heart of love, I'll still be high enough I can broadcast, whether I'm laying there, recovering or not. Whatever is happening, I'll be all right, and so will you. And I'll be there with you through and through. You'll even hear the tunage coming through. Them songs will play in your head, just like as if you were tuning in, Grandpa don't quit, ever. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Now, if somebody makes a mistake, in this procedure and, the old man checks out, I ain't going nowhere, baby. Life goes on forever. I'll be right there with you just the same as I would if I was still here in the carcass, But something tells me, and I got a feeling, I got to share it with you. I'm going to live to tell about it and then some. That something really good's going to come out of all of this. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's going to be awesome. It's coming already, really. I'm starting to feel just slightly orgasmic. Don't worry, I won't make a fool of myself here on the radio. Well, any worse than I usually do, anyway. We can't help it. It's a coyote thing, man, And the joke's on you. And me, too. Just like Wiley, man, He knows Acme. He knows he's going to get the shit kicked out of him. You know what? That sick little shit likes it because he never really gets hurt by anything. Look, he falls off cliffs, gets run over by trains, pounded into the ground by steam drills, and he just pops right back up again, goes chasing Roadrunner like nothing ever happened, right? Well, they're trying to tell you something there, kids, and that ain't stupid. Yeah, a heartfelt person sees that wisdom in that dumbass cartoon that ain't so dumbass after all now, is it? Just like this rock and roll, everybody talks bad about, the music industry being controlled by the demonic presence for, well, babies, whatever they do to this tunage, they can't screw it up. It's got multi-dimensionality built right into it. Most all of it here. I don't know. We might miss one here and there, but I don't know what it would be if we did. I got a list of a few thousand songs, and guess what, man? They all got the multi-dimensionality as far as I can see. Oh, there's a couple. Yep, there is the exception. Some of them got the dimensionality that should be flushed, And so we do. Yeah. Well, you can't help it. You get a few duds on your list. It happens, man. Just don't play the damn things. Get rid of them. That's hard. I can't get them off the list for some reason or another. Maybe there's going to be a space for a dud song like that sometime, and I can just throw it in there, gross everybody else out, and then bring you back with a real loving song that's really wild, you know what I mean? That's rock and roll, man. It's coyote medicine through and through, I'll tell you what, if you pay attention to the random meanderings of the tunage here, you're hearing the next level of dimension in it, you know, because it's got a common thread, man, just like the rappage we're doing now goes right along with it too, man. It all has a flow to it now, don't it? So if you get in early, you know, you can feel that flow right from the beginning of the medicine show here, Coyote Medicine Show, right on through for 5 sweet hours, and then another 2 with a reflight that just happens to magically mix right in. Pick up the theme and carry it again. I tell you, babies, you know, there is a reality here being demonstrated to us day after day. You know, this undeniable, really. I mean, if you feel it, you flow with it. And if you flow with it, you love the Coyote Medicine Show. We need more loving the Coyote Medicine Show, don't we now? Yes, indeedy, and how? So Grandpa appreciates your love and blessings, and I do apologize that I have to go through such difficulty. Stupid ass, I know. I mean, you know, I'm Mr. Healer Wheeler Dealer, man, you know, and it's like, wow, you know, I shouldn't be doing this shit, but yet here it is, and here I am, and there we are. You know, I've done the best I could with it alternatively, and babies, I got to do this, or I ain't going to live to tell about it, you know. But I will live no matter what happens. So, see, I'm really not afraid. Been there, done that a time or two. I've never been operated on. That was my first time ever. Since I was a little kid. No, they did take my tonsils out when I was a kid. Poured ether down my nose. You know, God, I remember that. I liked the smell of the ether. It was weird, but I liked it. I said, this is good drug. And then I went to sleep. And they cut my tonsils out. And, you know, shit. That was dirty, man, you know, like shit. You know, give you good drugs and then, you know, wallop on you with a knife and shit. I'm like, wow, cruel life, man. So I guess that's my association with surgery. So I have to kind of, and a revulsion too, because, you know, a lot of my friends have died this way. A lot of them. You know, they get this cancerous shit going on and they just, you know, well, anyway, it's just, I don't want to describe it. It's just too damn horrible. Been there, done that, that's what I'm saying. So I'm a little bit, you know, I'm going, well, I had to cancel my surgery that was supposed to be this week, in fact, yeah, a few days ago, but I just couldn't do it. I wasn't ready for it. I mean, you know, shit, you wouldn't believe the misery I go through here with this shit these days, man. It's really gotten bad, rough. But I ride it out. You know, God, I'm having a good time with being a dumbass old sick person for a little bit. You know, I mean, it's just the basic theme of my life. Whatever's going on, I'm going to have a good time with it no matter what, you know. And I'll fall in love with a nurse or maybe a doctor or two along the way. Who knows? Shit, man. You know, life you just go with the flow, you know, even when you don't want to. I mean, I just do. I don't want to do this even still. But baby, it's just, you know, I've used all the mojo and magic I can on it, you know, and so far it's only been responsive to a point. I mean, it ain't taken over my whole head yet, and it easily could have, because it could grow like crazy, you know. But I got like 20 days or 19 days or so to get to this surgery. I'm going to keep working on it in the meantime, man. Keep taking my Mary Jane oil and keep, you know, doing it topically and cleaning the thing up, etc. And, you know, you just wouldn't believe it, man. Sometimes you don't even want to do anything, but there's no place comfortable to go. It's just pain, and it's weird. I'm not used to living like that. Well, I've had steady pain since day one in life, but I got, you know, that dealt with. And dealing with the last of it here in this illness, I hope, anyway. I hope this is the end of pain. Because I really, you know, if I got to go through this, you know, I got to think I'm doing it for others, too. Because, you know, shit, why would I torment myself like this, you know? I mean, you know, maybe I ain't been no prince, but I'm principled, and I got some integrity, and I try to do what I could, the best I can for my fellow human beings at all times. Not everybody understands that or the path that puts you on, you know, but it's a good one. And these last 20 years, man, I tell you, they've been riotously righteous. I mean, in a mystical, cosmic sort of way, off the freaking charts. And I've seen miracle after miracle after miracle happen, and that means healings too. But a lot of other kinds of healings, you know, like in the partying sort of way. I got a reputation I have to uphold, and, you know, being in this kind of condition does not, you know, let me do much of that, you know. Shit, I'm a party boy, man. And you know, when I'm partying, everybody's feeling it, because that's what I'm picking up on, is the vibe of the people around me, you know, and just amping it back out there. And everybody loves this old man partying, because I'm still a kid at heart, and I don't forget it. And I just turn them loose there on the dance floor, you know. And I show off just a wee bit, not much, just a wee bit, you know, but because I can't help myself, you know. I'm not cute like a girl, so I got to do something to gain a little ground, you know. This human thing is right where we be found, baby. If we can learn to be happy no matter what the hell is going on, and bless ourselves for it, and everyone else too, well, then you're kind of catching on, man, you know. But it's a feeling thing. You can't just think this mentally and, you know, reprogram yourself that way. That just leads to more tragedy, you know, because you're only trying to fool yourself again, and guess what? You can't. The fooling yourself shit's over with now, man, because enough people have hit the reality already to turn the cosmic balance in the heart's favor. You see, that happened quite some time ago. Ding dong. Dummies didn't see it coming. You know, Bill Hicks was right. They're dumber than fucking toes, and that's why they ain't getting anywhere with it. I'm talking about Illuminati cabal and divine intelligence expressed so undivinely behind them. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean. The energy of unlove. Listen, if life is made of light, and light is love, right? I mean, you know, it's a feeling from which all creation blossoms. Well, how can anything be unlife and still be living? I mean, it just, you know, even if you're just particles, discorporated and floating around in the universe looking for a new place to become useful, man, and you'll find it too, because you're being directed by the divine harmony. Even if that's going on, man, it's all still totally cool. It's all in how you deal with it, man, you know. And we've been kind of like that here in this human existence, very fractured from our reality, broken down into little pieces. So we only had a little glimmer of ourself and of how good-hearted we might be, you know, and we didn't have much of a chance to practice it here, but by God, if your heart was in it, that chances would come along. And sometimes they require a lot more of you than you ever thought you'd be given. But you're given to be given, and so you do it, and you go on living, and you party, and you share that wealthy energy wherever you go. And that's why I'm fairly famous in these days, you know, because how many happy critters do you know like myself? But look at the wave behind me that you know, what do you call that? The wake out there, man, and them ripples are going on forever. People are still firing up because they seen this old dude do it, and they got fired up right along with them on a dance floor somewhere playing to Kiss or something. Wow, I've been some awesome places just like you have, man. You know, we've had a good life here. We've got away with a lot, even though we had to serve in ways of drudgery and plenty of it, man, you know. And this partying time of the Boulder thing I was talking about, shit, for years I didn't even have a home to go home to, but I always had some place to stay. Kind of cool, huh? And treated royally, too, because I stayed happy and flowing no matter what was going on. I mean, even when I was pissed, I'd be happy. You know? It's a strange thing when you can be happy inside your rage. But I've done that, you know, and it's like partly why I don't rage so much anymore, if at all. I think I'm through with that shit finally. You know, it was a good weapon in my toolbox, you know, as far as like defensive shit. Well, you know, I tossed the whole toolbox over the edge a while back, you know, let the waterfall have it, you know. Let the heart of Mother Earth deal with that. Okay, break it down to some basic elements and let's make it useful again. Those tools are no longer useful, man. Might as well just rust them away in the bottom of that waterfall pond and just redistribute the basic elements to life again, eh? And give it strength from our weakness. As you rust it on down or compost it on down or however that might be just to happen. And composting is a good way of describing it. And you have to remember when you're composting, it does develop a little heat. So you have to keep yourself moving around a little bit so you don't melt down. And that's where the partying comes in, man. And you got to hang out with cool people. And if you ain't around cool people and you can't find any in your hood, well, what is that telling you? What your grieving heart says, unbreak me now. Get me the hell out of this shit. Let's go find some people and party. There are places, and plenty of them, little gathering spots here and there around this world. You even find them in the Midwest, man. Like, Guthrie could just be one of them for you. Who knows? Otherwise, it's just a little, dust in the wind Midwestern town, South Midwestern town. You're in the Bible Belt now, babies. Keep your clothes on, doggone it. Till I tell you otherwise. You got to be a Baptiste down there. But instead of being a Baptiste, I was like a baptizer, man. I did the same thing there. I kept myself low key. I didn't exuberate a whole lot of cosmic reality because, I just had to have the right audience for that. But I just let that exuberance of life flow through me and keep me rolling. And it brought us a lot of sweet moments at that little coffee shop, the ex-wife and I. She wasn't ex then, but she is now. That's part of the reason, because we couldn't hang on to that place. Well, I had it for 2 or 3 years, and we had to let it go, But we had a great time, and like I said, it's a legend now, And, when she and I weren't very compatible, but boy, in that place, our magic worked. It's the one place in our flailing relationship where really it came together. And things happened right for a change, And a lot of it fell on her to be doing, because sometimes I'd be gone 8-10 days, going out there making the paycheck to keep the thing covered, because it didn't always pay for itself, no matter how famous it is. You got to have, a little profitability built into it. And we had a pretty big nut, just staying alive out there. So I had to do a little of that. Paychecking, and she had to do a little shopkeeping because we couldn't afford to hire a lot of help and so forth. You know what I mean? It's a little rough, but it was beautiful. Well, most small businesses are. You always sweat a little bit, And I'd come home from, long duty trucking where I've been logging up 800, 1,000 miles a day again, just like I did when I was a kid. Ooh, and getting away with it so far, but in today's world, that even then, it was a risky business to try that, You got to run a whole lot closer to legal these days than you ever did before, because they get real serious about put people in jail for it and shit if you're running overtime and they catch you fraudulating your login and shit. And they get all upset about it these days. Well, don't worry, creation knows we've been faking our logbooks for a long time. That we're all just dedicated little love bunnies, and we've been keeping that secret logbook in the background that really tells the truth about what we've been up to and why we've been doing and why we've been pushing ourselves so hard, because we knew somewhere inside that this time around we was going to get away with it and pull it off and throw the party of the century before we frickin' die and go away, man. You know what I mean? Then maybe at that party, instead of die, we fly. We just lighten up and party down with the angels, same as we did if we did die, only we're just, transforming the physical carcass to go with us too, man. Shit, Mother Earth says she wants to go experience some cosmic orgasmic stuff, and so the little human body's got to get out there and do it for her, okay? See, the blessings, the blossoming of life, and guess what? We're the kids that get to party and play now. In that innocent, loving sort of way. I mean, you talk about wow. And wild and woolly and just so damn much fun you can feel the prickles up and down your spine right now, can't you, baby? Yeah, I knew it, see? And I got them too. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's something. Ow! Trying to lighten up a little bit. That doesn't want to lighten up, but it does. You see, I was implanted quite some time ago. A little kid with some wild-ass energy, and it's just still getting itself tamed down. It's been a cosmic part of me since I came around. I get dosed with it every time I hit life, It's a tricky one. But, I'm a dancer and a romancer. After a while, it takes me a bit. When I'm a kid, I'm not much of anything. I'm developing. Wow. But as I get a little older in each lifetime, you know, it's funny how lifetimes have a simultaneous nature to them when you start to remember little bits and pieces of them. Some of you get pretty clear memories of them, don't you? But anyway, you're like, it's amazing because you're always dealing with the same basic energies in every life, no matter what that might be, you know, because you portray a lot of different roles here, you know, we do. Just about anything you want to name, you've probably been it if you're much of a player here at all. Because we're brave. We like to try new lives out. Even if we know they're going to be a short one, if it looks cool, we'll go do it just for the experience of it, you know. And part of the reasoning behind that is because we know that experience will be so damn blessed and beautiful, to use loose terminology, that, you know, the universe will appreciate and nurture that created tale forever. And go back and re-experience it again and again at many different levels, many different ways, you see. It's not just a portrayal. That's why it feels like life, because it is in another way, even though the life we're living is lived in an illusion, more or less, you know. The reality is in what the heart is determining in each moment we're living, what the end results are, you see. That's how we do that, man. It just, you know, it brings us back to the reality of what some folks call as oneness. Which is that, you know, just like there's a simultaneous nature in your living lifetimes, as we see them from here, well, then there's a simultaneous nature in all that are living those lifetimes with you. See, it's a syncopated thing, man. You know, each person has their own particular resonation, but that resonation syncopates with all resonation. And that's called divine harmony, and some would call it the underlying divine intelligence, too. And, you know, it's the rhythm of rock and roll. It's the medicine of your heart and soul in the flow of life, don't you know? See how there can be no life that's unloving? That's the greatest lie ever told and the greatest lie ever lived, because God bless it, we have done it again and again and again in the unloving way here, haven't we? Well, we can undone the unloved now, haven't we? Yeah, and then some. See, its day is over with, and, you know, it knows that, you know, they've been running for the rafters for a while, got a bunch of them trapped down there in Antarctica. Their clones are going to wear out pretty soon, then what they going to do? The ones they left back behind, you know, poor guys. Do you realize what victims you are, little cloney clones? They're just using you, man. They don't care about you at all. You're just a piece of flesh, you know. Furniture. So we got to have sympathy for the clones, okay? Listen, if you can feel for the clones, baby, then the clones can feel for you, and we'll bring them to life. For real. You know, because I'm telling you now, this is something, a little secret that ain't very well known, this dumbasses. But, you know, if you got a shard or a shred of a human genome in you, as a clone, as a created biological circumstance, you have the potential of full and complete manifestation of human conscious presence in that person that you are as a clone, as a piece of, you know, biological equipment, a robot. See, you're not so raw and you're not so bot. You just don't feel because they didn't put any in you. At least they didn't think they did. But see, conscious presence is feeling. It's what every human thing is built for. That's what the flesh is all about, feeling. See, it's a harbor. It's a root. In that feeling is the root of life, beginning its growing and blossoming, don't you know? That's the whole story here, see? Is bringing all the energies of life together in a singular root. It taps right into the Mother Earth's heart, which is the sun. See, there's a sun in the middle, and there's a sun that's on the outside as we see it. But that probably will dissolve from the sky, unless we want to see it that way. But otherwise, it's going to dissolve from the sky and, you know, start shining from inside each one of us and all life around us, because that's the true Earth. That's the living love that we are. Is that rocking or what, man? You know, shit. You know, wow. You know, when you fly the spaceship love all the time, you know, sometimes you feel a bit removed from life. And then moments like this come along and remind you of how reconnected you are with it every moment that you live. That there is no misdirection in this life, that all movements are cosmically collective with and in conjunction with the divine heart of love, which is humanity, man, and the divine heart which is created in humanity, made humanity, but was created of us too, you know, that divine mother love. I call her Mary Jane, you call her what you will. I'm being a little coyote when I say that, you know, because it's so dang true. I'll never forget, now I was a punk kid. I'll share this one with you briefly. I'm sure you've heard versions of it already. But I was a punk kid, and there was an accidental injury occurred. And I bonked my head on a pavement going 40 miles an hour. And so I was in the hospital for a while, you know. And, you know, they say nearly died, but I was dead for a little while, out of the body for a little bit. Floating around this hospital there in Salt Lake City, Utah, you know. And it was years later these memories came back to me. It was kind of foggy when I lived it, you know, because it was a head injury. So you remember some moments, you'd be there present, and then you'd drift away again, you know. So you was in and out for days on end. So your memories are kind of vague, but then it revisits you at some point, you know, 15, 20 years in the future from, oh my God, it's gorgeous out there today. You ought to see it right now. And, you know, the sky's a hazy blue, kind of dusty, and there's that, you know, chemtrail haze out there. But, oh my goodness, the valley floor below with all that fall color in it, mostly it's rusty red right now, with just enough gold in it to just light your fire, man. And still just hazy enough that a few of the street lamps way across the valley, about 30 miles from here, are still twinkling a bit. And I can see the airport light over there for Center's little dangerous little airport. Oh, wow, what a beautiful day. You know, it's nice to be getting it underway with you, babies. So don't think I've drifted away, man. We're getting a root today, man. We just rooted down there in the valley of the San Luis right here, right now, man. In what? The color of the sangre de Cristo glowing back from the valley floor. See, it's reflecting off a rosy red sky above, and so it makes the valley floor kind of golden rosy red, with just a little accentuation from the little bit of color you can see in the haze of the early morning, you know. And then with these mystical images of the San Juan Mountains over there at the other side, about 60, 70 miles away from here. But like they're right there in your face. They look like little midget mountains till you get over there, and then you go, oh my God, there's no way out. These mountains have swallowed me. Oh, it's a gorgeous picture I'm portraying to you because I'm living it. See what I mean? Just be effusive. Just love what you got going on. Now listen, as I could interpret this same scene a gazillion different ways because there's all kinds of other things going on out there in that picture. And I could focus on any element of it and say, oh my God, and throw my hands up and go away. But I don't. I see it all as part of the cosmic flow, and it'll get taken care of as I go, and I just gotta be relaxed and let it flow. You know, that's especially when you've been a bit of a trucker, you know, it's a little hard to relax that much. You know, though you sure do on your times off, of course, but, you know, it's always a temporary thing. Then you gotta go back to the go, 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 get out of my way, go, 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 go thing, you know. Never stop. Well, I might take a pit stop now and then, grab a cup of coffee once in a while, but basically it's go, 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 go. You know, anyway, and it keeps you in the flow, man, and financially and metaphysically on the highway. If you got the Zen going on at it, now you can get it to an extreme, you know, and you don't want to live there. Because then you really are, you're so fanatic you start not even stopping to pee or anything. You get no rest at all. It's constant, steady flow. You and your partner slip out in and out of the seat trading places to go back to the bunk and sleep. Yeah, right. You don't get a lot of sleep bouncing down the highway, flattened out on a hard old mattress, let me tell you, or even a soft one. It's tricky business. You can train yourself to do it so you get a certain amount, so you're not a hazard out there, but damn. You just never get rested when you're running team, and you get real fanatical about it like that. Shit. That's a disease. That's a sickness. That's not a way to make a living at all. It's not a profession. It's not professional. It's stupid. And it's but beyond my existence. I didn't do very much of that in my time, that team driving. I did a little here and there, more than I ever wanted to, but, mostly I drove myself, a solo runs and so forth, one way or the other, and I just didn't want to share my cosmic space with anybody but a bimbo, and that would be temporarily, okay? Nah, you party a little, you play around a little, but, it's never as loose as they make it, pretend it to be, for those of us that are real lovers in life, and, you got a little presence of that, that you never lose when you're a tiny kid, no matter how bad they scar you, you just don't lose that love. That's why you can be enthused about life, even when you're freaking depressed. It's amazing, man, getting in the end of your rope about something. And that's how you make changes. That's why it's such an extreme life. Because you have to get to the end of your rope with something before you can let go of it and be on your way. It's really weird, but you can't. You got to flush it out, man. You got to, finish it with that cycle. And then all of a sudden there's a whole new one opens up. Sometimes it's a happy little hippie holiday, and God, I love those times in my life when I could just cruise for a year, not worry about shit, Hang up if I had a phone that the bill collectors could call, you know what I mean? Just screw you, shit, I'll get to you when I get to you. I know it's bad, cosmically, heavy karma, man. Horse shit. I just never could take the reality that seriously, so I learned to take it not so seriously so I could live a little more loosely than most folks, no matter what my current financial status happened to be, And I never had to fly a sign to do it either. It's just magic. It's cosmic magic. That's all I can say, and it's later realizing that can work for you if you step out of the way and let it. In other words, if you trust yourself to be yourself, as genuine as you can muster in the moment you're living. I've always tried to be straight up like that. And some will tell you I was successful at it, and some will tell you, well, I don't know about that old fart. So it's a 50-50 deal, But we're coming around just the same, And no matter how else we've been found together with you guys today, this morning, right here in this moment of now, experiencing a moment of could only be called rebirth, And we share that with the earth as she shares that with us. When I say rebirth, what is that? A blossoming time. Like the awakening of day when things start to clear up and glow with the golden glow of the light of day. And what seemed so spooky a few minutes ago don't seem spooky at all no more. In fact, it feels downright enchanting because you can see what you could only imagine before. That's the beauty of clarity and focus, awakening, awareness, divine love in motion, the presence of the human heart in the fullness of its existence in this multidimensional expression of life we've lived in, which goes beyond cosmic into the reality of loving everything, man. But, it starts in awakening moments like this, The rest of it, words are weak and can hardly describe it. So we can only kind of imagine ourselves into it, eh? Let the heart do the imagining. See how magic it is? How pure it is. You see why I call it a child? A baby? Yet it's been running wild here the whole time we have. It's just been perspective. Altered perspective, yes. Fulfilling that shit now, ain't we, babies? And how? Clink, clink, clink. I was getting the cottonmouth on anyway. Oh, babies, even cold coffee's good coffee this time of day, ain't it? That's the saddest thing about a truck driving life, and that's why I couldn't do it many years in a row. I finally got to the place where I got tired of drinking cold coffee after a few years of it, you know. And just, screw this. I'm going to go hang out in some place where I can, you know, be a good bullshitter and have me a little coffee shop to hang out in, maybe with some, run by some Mexican chicks that like to tease me. That'd be a lot of fun, man. And so I'd change professions for a while and try to get my ass off the road. Shit, I couldn't get my ass off the road to save me, man. Once I caught the bug, and I caught it early, then I was lost. I mean, you know, I was going to be on the road no matter, you know, I could take a job shining shoes at Grand Central Station. Guess what? The first guy that comes along, and I do a good job on it, polishing his little ass boots, man, well, he's going to be some Texas oil billionaire with a guilty conscience that wants me to take him somewhere cosmically. He's going to give me a private Gulfstream and all that shit. But as long as I'm at his beck and call, and I can come help him when he needs it, you know. And I'm going to teach him to be humane and to share the wealth in ways he never thought possible before. You know, and in this way we're going to cosmically reverse the whole reality, you know. So, you know, maybe some little influence like that's coming into your life, and there's a place you're going with it just like that. I mean, because we always work together, and we're always doing these things together as the collective heart, each on our personal path. It's the threads that weave around inside the cloth to make it woven, you know. And I call it a tapestry, and it's a grand tapestry, man. And, you know, when we're through with it, which we just about are, well, then we get to stand back and take a look at it from a whole new perspective, you know, because we can see it as the framed-in existence of the cosmic tapestry, you know, the picture of life that we've been painting by living it, you know. It's quite a deal, man, you know. It's a whole different way of being in the reality now. Because you can't do that and see it that way without letting go of any idea of separation. And, you know, and you have to give up a lot of your person to really appreciate your personality, your place here. You know, and you can't worry about whether it's better or worse than anybody else's, you know. But you just know that wherever you've been, maybe you didn't fit naturally in, but you're starting to now. You're starting to understand what that means, to fit in cosmically. And then you're in the correct place no matter where you be, you see. But the heart will take you there. It always does, man, you know. And that's by allowing the meandering imagination that we made so many legends about. It made it seem so foolish, and only a hobo would follow that existence, etc., you know. But the cosmic thing behind it, the ideal, it says, we can return to the paradise life. We don't have to live absent of it like this anymore. You know, we can return to the cosmic heart, in other words, and live in the full presence of it, you know. But we had to go through the howling dog phase, the coyote phase of it all, to understand, you know, the individuation of a person, but of how interconnected that always is with life, which we knew already, but at the same time, because we had never lived absence from that presence, we didn't know anything else. Couldn't find the depth of our appreciation in it, but we have now. That's why we're graduating. Lessons up, babies. You know, we got our heart back after all this time. But you see, we had a fail-safe thing built in. It's like 2001: A Space Odyssey, you know, interesting film that is. But anywho, it's kind of like that. It was just built in to the system. It's like that old monolith comes around once every 20 gazillion years and recreates it, you know. You know, that's kind of what that represented is Okay, there's a long cycle in time, yes, but sometime the old monolith comes back and time completes itself. And then we get to live in that moment of enjoyment. I call it partying because it's going to be, because it is already, really, your heart's already filled with joy. But when we step back, man, we really get to rock because we can see the whole tapestry. We can appreciate our little threads in it, man, all our little weaves, because they glow like crazy. They glitter like gold, man. Beautiful, beautiful experience we have lived here. Jack London would be so proud, and Steinbeck, shit, he's snickering in his grave, man. He feels embarrassed. He wishes he could have written something like this. And maybe he did in his own ways like we're doing right now in our own way. It's the cosmic heart in motion. So I'm sure it's as joined with Steinbeck's and Hemingway's and Heinlein's and Vonnegut's and any of the other crazy people that could dream a little larger dream and find a larger way to share it like that. You know what I mean? Those great authors of love, man. Ooh, they could do some awful portrayals, but there was always the sardonetry in it. That little cosmic joke. Steinbeck knew that, I think, the best of all of them. Oh, but he shared that with a guy that wasn't very well known. The human comedy guy. Saeed Mohammed. No, what is that guy's name? It'll come to me after a while, but it's called The Human Comedy. And it's written back in the 40s. 1940s, in case you don't know what that means. And, I almost had it. William Saroyan, there it is, William Saroyan. Thanks, angels, you great coaches, man. So anyway, William Saroyan wrote this cosmic little work of art. And he did, he aptly named it The Human Comedy, but it's about a kid that's a telegraph boy back in the times of World War II and about the cosmic reality of Salinas, California around him in those days, which was kind of a dusty little agricultural town that harbored a few different and scattered souls, but not that many of them, you know, a little desperate, but yet everybody was strangely content with what was going on. You know, that California laissez-fairness, you know, but ooh, strange comedy and drama there. Wow. Some real sick shit that a poor little telegraph kid, 13 years old, had to be exposed to. But, you know, it ripened him into a man in a quick hurry. But, you know, it's because we already are. We just got to go back to that heart at the center presence of our being. And a lot of times we're kind of forced there because we make a war on ourselves to make it happen, to create such great pressure inside that we won't do anything else but go back to the heart. But there, like I said, there's also a fail-safe built into, which means we only had to live so long. There's a loop in time of years, of eons of time, as they call it. But there is a loop, and it has a beginning point, and that's our fail-safe. Because time will bring us back there at the end of that loop, no matter what. It's a big, gigantic circle. It can't help it. It's like the planets can't help rotating around the sun. Whatever it is that makes them do that, they like doing it. And they can't help themselves, see? Oh, I know we could excuse away a lot of things like that, couldn't we? I couldn't help myself. You left me alone, and it was a full moon, and there was a bottle of wine, and a whole rift of weed, man. Shit. And I knew there was this little boy, this little girl living down the road there. And when I say little, you know what I mean. They're like cosmic 27-year-olds. They could be any age, but they're cosmically 27, you know. So they're fun to party with. They still got some enthusiasm, but they're starting to gain a tiny speck of maturity. So they ain't going to step on people's toes quite as willing as they will at, you know, 19, 20, 22. Oh, God, that's obnoxious, isn't it? It's amazing any of us live to tell about it. I'm telling you, coyote medicine through and through in this life, you see, in every level, in every way. Now you know why I'm called the Universal DJ, because we share it with you, what? Cosmically, multidimensionally, you know, the way of the dog, man. Why do you think they can be so peaceful with so much turmoil going on around them and woof woof, happy happy? They know what's really going on, just like the coyote does. And just like you do now, because your cosmic heart says, see, we knew it all along. We just had to bless ourselves enough to allow it to be present inside, right? Okay, now you're ready for a cosmic carpet ride, man. Yeah, you're right on the tapestry of life now, man. You know, it's interwoven with all of our loving experience here, man. The good, the bad, the ugly, the rich and the infamous, and all of that shit. Oh, and the high peaks. Those are our treasures, you know. Glow spots of love where something really was accomplished here. Sometimes it's simple. I mean, you know, Hemingway could do this. He understood this. You can bleed a moment to death because it is so simple, but so cosmically impacting on the reality around you. Somebody throws their coat down in the mud before this little old lady can step off the curb into shit up to her ankles, you know. Ruins his coat, but he gets her there without getting shit on her. If he could, he'd pick her up and pack her, but she's frail, you know, so he helps her gently across the street, man, you know. And this is a guy that's probably known as a gunslinger. He's got 30 notches on his old Colt 45. I mean, you know, shit. But he's a gentleman, you see. And you know what? The shoe shine kids up the street do the same thing. And it's just, you know, it's a code, a heart. Something reminding us that we really are living beings here to care for one another, you know. And above all, to respect the mother energy that got us here in the first place. And quit condemning her to hell for being a bit of a tease. She loves you. You know, Jesus, you uptight Europeanos. Well, some Europeanos uptight. A lot of them ain't, are you? That's good. But you know, there is an element of that, but especially in this skullduggerous word over here in puritanical America, not so pretty anymore. You know, but anyway, it's still beautiful. We're making it that way, babies. We ain't gonna let them get away with that shit. They never really wanted to. They're just naughty kids that found some fireworks somewhere, and they're bound and determined to raise a little hell before they let go of that shit. So we let them party and play with it a little bit, but you know, not so they'd hurt themselves too much, let alone the rest of us, you know. That's why a lot of their cosmic toys a lot of their toys been cosmically shut down, you know, because it's an act of purity, man. The heart's got to that level where, you know, the picture of such weaponry, let alone the functional reality of it's just intolerable anymore. The heart doesn't see it that way, and it just can't think in that destructive of terms anymore, you know. And you'll see an absence of warfare here pretty quick. In fact, it's dying down rapidly right now, no matter how hard they're pushing to foment it. Everything they do pushes it the other way, the peaceful direction. People are waking up everywhere in uniform and out of it, you know, in the slums of the cities where they've been bombing the piss out of them to the... And who deserves that? Anyway, I'm not going to get on a high horse. It's time to let go of all of that, you know. This is what I'm talking about, an end to that. The savagery, the pain that creates such savagery. When you're not pained anymore, you're not willing to create pain anymore either, are you? It says love in motion, that's truth. That's the reality we're stepping into, and that's the first step. We already opened the door, we just stepped in now. Step one. Equity, I call it. You call it what you will. But it's graduating from the point of separation to the instigation of the collective heart in each and every separate life that ain't separated from anything. Got it down in the personal way now, don't we? Yeah. Fiery little devils, man. Well, a lot of us, some of us just evil temptresses and so forth. You can't be helped. I mean, we are what we are. But we do as we do now. And what that identity was, I don't even know, but it doesn't fit no more, does it? But them glass slippers sure do. Or are they ruby slippers? I can't tell. Shit. Maybe I'm going colorblind. It all looks so colorful. Like somebody overamped the saturation, man, you know. I'm beginning to see life living and happy and moving around and, you know, and synchronicity all about me, even in the tile floor and the doggy in the chair and stuff. And the angels hanging around, and, you know, wow. No wonder they call me the cosmic clown, man. I've been, you know, bouncing my basketball up and down for a long time down here, you know. Boing, 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 boing. And, you know, I forgot that it was basketball, and I was supposed to make a basket every now and then. I thought it just had to go boing, boing, you know. Whoops. Well, there goes the illusion of the basketball. We're free, people. Liberation has come as the sun has arisen on the San Juan Mountains across the valley from us here, babe. Well, it's halfway across the valley now. Comes pretty quick, don't it? Yeah. So does transformation. That's what we call it, you know. I snuck that in on you, but that's what we call it, you know. It's transformation. It's transforming from one level of experience to another, really, but it's called the full presence, the level of full presence. This is what a lot of the harshness here and the restrictions been about, is getting us ready for the impact of the full presence. We had to retard ourselves severely. You know, I don't know if there was a need for much torture and pain as we created here. I don't necessarily agree that there was, but who gives a shit? It's over. That's what matters. So none of that counts anymore. It's all part of our colorful ways. God, what irony. Whew. Mighty irony. Beautifully and poetically expressed by a bunch of loving hearts. Innocent is the rose that grows beside you, man. You know what I mean? You can't help but be what you are. But see, what you are is then the question. Can that rose growing there alongside the road, can that really see itself? Define itself as a rose, a flower? Or does it see itself as the full presence of creation? And somehow sense its bodily presence in the flower and therefore loves to blossom because it loves the feel of the sun and the broad skies and the exuberant love that flows through it into creation colorfully all around it. And you know, as it realizes that flow through its blossoming into the creation around it, well then it experiences through that feeling with all of that creation. That's what oneness is. It's when you live it in unity with everything. And then it's all, I mean, anything that seemed cosmically imperfect, that is no longer our reality. Whatever that was. We lived in an upside-down world for a while, yes. But once it's turned right side up, which is turning now, well then, the gig is up for all of that. And the only thing that can grow is a very deeply appreciated love now, a blossoming love, rooted in the Mother Earth and in the Mother Earth's heart. How's that for a good start on what it? Oh, good gosh. It's no wonder I'm going on so. It's Free Day Friday, don't you know? On the Coyotes Medicine Show on Everclear Hazy Radio Network, don't you know? Last slug of coffee here in this cup anyway. So, I have no more to wet my whistle with. Guess we better rock, huh? Oh, we have been rocking while we've been talking and experiencing the grand sunrise here as it came across the San Luis Valley. God, it is a great day to be alive on this August. What? No, it's October. Holy shit. You know, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it, hon? You know, I'm so glad you're the one. Each one of you. Okay. Spread them wings. I'll join you in the sky, baby. Let's rock. Hazy Radio Network, man. We got it on with old Grandpa Koyote and family, I should say. You vibe tribers, you coyote clubbers, you don't club me with the coyote anymore. I got enough of that right here at the Coyote Medicine Show on the Hazy Radio Network, don't you know? Free Day Friday. Ooh, feel that flow, man. We are righteously free and righteously so. Don't you know?